Good morning. This is Biology News with us, Group C. I'm host Nurfasya Atika. Today we will begin with our headline story about travel deep inside the plants, development of Lycophytes and Pteridophytes. Despite the diversity of shapes, colors, and textures, all plants have evolved from a common ancestor. Plants have evolved to adapt to a variety of environments over million years and are also influenced by human activity. Now we move to our reporter for more information.
Thank you. Plant evolution and diversity. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Farhan Hussaini bin Ahmad Zamin. Metric number AS13161 from Group 6. Report about the evolution of Lycophytes, vascular tissue. First thing first, what is the vascular plant? The vascular plant means the plant that have xylem and phloem. Today, the vascular plant, also known as Tracheophytes. Tracheophytes dominate the natural landscape in nearly all terrestrial habitats. Vascular plants can achieve great height because they have roots that absorb water from the soil and a vascular tissue called xylem that transport water through the stem to the leaves. Another conducting tissue called phloem transport the nutrient in the plant. Further, the cell walls of the conducting tissues in xylem contain lignin, a material that strengthens the plant cell wall. Thus, the evolution of xylem was essential to the evolution of upright and taller plants. Okay, let's move to the origin of the vascular plant. Do you know what is the first vascular plant? The fossil records indicate that the first vascular plant, such as Cooksonia, were more likely bushes than trees. Cooksonia is a rare neophyte, a group of vascular plants that flourish during Silurian periods, but are now extinct. The rare neophytes were only about 6.5 cm tall and had no roots and leaves. They consist simply of stems that fork evenly to produce branches ending in sporangia. The branching of Cooksonia was significant for two reasons. First, instead of a single sporangium in a bryophyte, this plant produced many sporangia and therefore many more spores. Second, the branching is characteristic of plants that have vascular tissues. The sporangia of Cooksonia produce wind-blown spores, which classifies it as a seedless vascular plant. Like the rest of the Lycophytes and the Pteridophytes discussed in the next section. In addition, the Lycophytes and all other vascular plants have a dominant sporophyte generations. Lycophytes is like the stem of early vascular plants. The first Lycophytes also had leaves and roots. The leaves are called microphyls because they had only one strand of vascular tissues. The microphyls most likely evolved as a simple side extension of the stem. Roots evolved simply as lower extension of the stem. The organization of vascular tissue in the roots of the Lycophytes today is much as it was in the stem of fossil vascular plants, where the vascular tissues centrally placed. Today's Lycophytes includes around 1,275 species in three main groups: the ground pines or club moss, the spike moss, and the quillworts. Many Lycophytes have moss in their name because they look like a moss. Yet, unlike moss, these plants have a vascular tissues. This picture shows the structure of the lycopodium. Beginning at the top, notice the cone-shaped structure called strobili. What is strobili? Strobili is in the club moss terminal of the leaves that bear sporangia. Strobili resemble a club or heavy stick, accounting for the common name, club moss. the sporangia or bone on the strobili, where the meiosis takes place and spores are produced. Next, aerial stem and microfields contain vascular tissues, as does the underground stem, called the rhizome. Rhizome means root-like underground stem. The roots develop the branch from the rhizome. Thus far, sporangia have been described as spore-producing structure. Some of the sporangia and other vascular plants produce one type of spores that grows into one type of gametophyte. These plant types are called homosporous, a plant that produces only one type of asexual spores. Other vascular plants produce two types of spores. They are called heteroporous. Seed plant that produce two types of spores and two types of spores such as micropores and megapores. Micropores grows into a male gametophyte and megapores grows into a female gametophyte. I'm Farhan from G6.
What is pteridophyte and what is megaphyll in pteridophyte? Next, we will see the video that explains about pteridophyte and megaphyll.
Hi, I'm reporter Nurfasya. So, what is pteridophyte? Pteridophyte is a group of seedless vascular tissue, including fern and the alive, horsetail, and witch fern. Okay, both of pteridophyte and seed plants have megaphyll. What is megaphyll? What is differences between megaphyll and macrophyll? First factor is number of vascular tissue. For megaphyll, there are several branches of vascular tissue and broader, while for microphyll, there are only single strand and quite narrow. Next is number of veins. For megaphyll, there are multiple veins, but for microphyll, there are only single vein, which is at the center of the leaf. Next one is location. For megaphyll, it occurs in angiosperm, gymnosperm, and front of fern, while for microphyll is occur in lycophytes and horsetail. The last one is function of megaphyll and macrophyll. Megaphyll and macrophyll have the same function, which is undergoes photosynthesis. But for megaphyll, there are several more functions, which is allow plants to efficiently collect solar energy, then producing more foods and produce more offspring than plants without megaphyll. Okay, there are four differences between megaphyll and macrophyll.
For megaphyll, one branch begins to dominate the stem system, then the side branches flatten into a single plane. Tissue fill the space between the side branches and leaf root contain many veins, which is megaphyll. For macrophyll, vascular tissue grow longer until the sporangia grow beside the stem. Then, leaf grow at the end of the branch, which means a single branches become a single vein. As we know, horsetail and wishfern are type of pteridophyte. So, we pass to our reporter Isha to explain more about horsetail and wishfern.
Hi, I'm reporter Farisha. Today, horsetail, as known as the scurrying rushes, consists of only one genus, which is Ecosystem, and with 15 species. The pioneers of the American used the horsetail as the scurrying pods and called them as the scurrying rushes. Today, they are still used as the ingredient in a few abrasive powder. In horsetail, they reduce megaphylls forming whorls at the node. These are the characteristics of the horsetail. First, it has small leaves, and these leaves are located at the nodes of all the stems. Second, horsetail has branches, and it is skirt-like, slender, green-side branches. Next, it has strobilus, and strobilus is located at the tip of all the stems. Spore-producing sporangia are born in the strobilus. and they are sensitive to humidity. When conditions are right, the spores have been known to travel upward when they are ejected.
Whisk fern, as known as Siletum, resemble a whisk broom because they have no leaf. Whisk fern has horizontal rhizome and pumpkin-shaped sporangium. Sporangium is yellow in color and borne on the short side branches.
So that's all from me. Thank you.
Fern have much economic value and usually used as ornamental plant at home and garden. Some of fern are used as food, and fern also have medicinal value that used to stop bleeding. Next, we have from Nik about component of fern life cycle.
Hi, I'm going to explain about ferns. Ferns is a member of a group of vascular plants that reproduce via spores and have neither seeds nor flowers. Ferns are most abundant in tropical regions. However, they can also be found in temperate regions and as far north as the Arctic Circle. Unlike lycophytes, ferns have megaphylls, which commonly referred to as fronds, which is the leaf of the ferns. Ferns also have sporangia that are located in clusters called sori on the other side of the fronds. Next, we proceed to the fern life cycle. First, we have to know that fern is actually the sporophyte generation, which means ferns will reproduce by producing spores. And how do ferns actually produce spores? Let me explain it to you guys.
As you can see, these are the 3D samples of ferns. So this whole thing is actually known as the fronds, and frond consists of the plate and a stalk. And on the other side of the fronds, there will be sporangia. As you can see, sporangia looks like brown circles on each of the leaflets. So here I attach you a picture of how real sporangia look like under real fronds.
Wind-blown spores will be produced in sporangia. The sporangia are located in sori on the other side of the leaflets and protected by inducible. In a sporangium, meiosis occurs and spores are produced. The sporangium then opens and releases spores. The spores will be distributed by the wind and then germinate into a protellus, the gametophyte. The protellus bears echogenia, the female sex organ at the notch, and enteridia, the male sex organ, at the tip between the rhizoids. The sperm are produced in enteridia, and the egg is produced in the echogenia. And after that, fertilization will occur when moisture is present because the flagellated sperm need water to enable their movement from enteridia to the echogenia to reach the egg. And after fertilization, the zygote is formed. The zygote then will begin to develop inside the echogenium through mitosis. As the first leaf starts to appear above the protellus and root appear below it, the young fern becomes visible. The young fern then develops into mature fern consisting of root-bearing rhizome, the fronds, which is the leaf of ferns, and the sporangia. The mature fern plant is the sporophyte structure that produces spores. The cycle then repeats again.
Okay, thanks to our reporters, at the end of this headline story, travel deep inside the plants development of Lycophyte and Pteridophyte. I hope we all achieve the objective about Lycophyte and Pteridophyte. That's all from Biology News Group 6 for today. Thank you.